What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 117. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate
Hello.
and the whole effing Brian.
Hello.
So Topher's going to be trying to join us in progress today. He's taking his girlfriend to the airport, I think, something like that. But so yeah, you don't have to listen to me and him bicker for at least a little while today. Let's jump right in. I mean, there's a ton of stuff to talk about this week. Let's talk about some news.
Bum 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 bum. News. I was so going for Hot for Teacher first. I wanted to do Hot for Teacher,
was
but then I
rough.
got mixed up, and then it was like,
That's all right.
fuck.
That's what makes
Never
it
mind.
fun. That's what makes it fun. It's like karaoke. It's not fun because it's good. It's fun because it's shitty.
Karaoke scripted though. This is off the top of my head.
That's true.
This is like free flow art.
This is like the first rap battle of 8 Mile. It's just
With mom spaghetti. Just
Wait, you
spill
gotta
it
throw
everywhere.
up first.
We got mom spaghetti and it's like
Okay.
8 Mile.
Let's start out by talking about. I really wanted to talk about this last week, but it was not complete. The story wasn't completed. Not very many people had seen it. All three of us, I think, have seen this at this point. I'm hoping, Brian.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Talking
depends
about
on what you're
Arrow.
saying.
Or not Arrow,
Oh.
Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm caught up now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Last night.
So we're going to talk about the two recent episodes as this is coming out.
Boobies?
Boobies? What? No, we're talking about the Earth 2 episodes.
Well, it'll be the two most recent episodes until this airs. Once it airs, there'll be a new episode.
Yeah, but this comes out at noon and that comes out in the evening, so we're good.
No, because
Oh, that comes
Tuesday.
out on Tuesday. That's right. I watch it on Hulu, so it comes
Yeah.
out on Wednesday for me. Okay, so yeah, so we're even better then as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Call me, baby.
So, Earth 2 Flash, in my opinion, really turned this season around. Because this season started at like such a high point, and then it just kind of like, for me, and I know that, Pirate, you didn't necessarily agree with me, but it slowed down to the point where, for me at least, it just wasn't even really interesting. You said it was a lot of character development. I see that, but it was it was almost a drag the way that they were doing it for about 2 episodes. And then these last 2 episodes that they had with the Earth 2 stuff were fucking incredible. Some of the best comic book TV show episodes to date, in my opinion. What do you think about it, Pirate?
Well, like you said, I mean, I agree to a certain extent that it was slower than season 1.
Oh, for sure.
But is it slower enough for me to dislike it any less than season 1? No, it wasn't. But yeah, these last 2 episodes with them going to Earth 2 and with Zoom and Joe, the change, how close each character is, how Barry's married to Iris and Joe doesn't like Barry, and it was very familiar but so far apart, even with Killer Frost and Deathstorm, like
Hellstorm.
it was no Deathstorm.
Was it Deathstorm? I thought it was Hellstorm.
Yeah.
No, Hellstorm is what you call in Black Ops 3.
Ah, damn it. Get my shit. For whatever reason, I was thinking
Cross
'cause
nerd
they
them
only,
there. Cross.
well, they only said
That's
the
the
name
Earth
like
2
one time.
Black Ops 2.
Yeah, right.
Now they say it several times.
Did they?
Yeah.
Trying to
But
remember. Anyway.
regardless, I mean, I call different things.
All right,
wrong
before
names
we
all the time.
before we really dive into it and start talking about specifics, Brian, what's your overall thoughts on this? Like, how did you like the 2 episode like kind of mini series or story arc or whatever?
It wasn't bad. The real part I liked in it was when he's actually going to Earth 2 and you see all the glimpses of the different
Oh, that was fucking
dimensions
bad.
or
Supergirl.
multiverse. Yeah, you see Jonah Hex in one. That was pretty cool. I mean, the episodes overall were pretty good. I some things I wish they could have done differently since Deathstorm, Earth 2 Firestorm was Deathstorm. I feel like they could have changed him a little bit, maybe made his flame blue, like to show that significant change.
Or like a dark red or something.
Yeah, something
Instead of
that
just orange.
like in the comics, Deathstorm. I mean, Deathstorm's a floating skull, kind of reminiscent of Ghost Rider, but his flame was blue. They could have done something like that, but I mean, there's only a little.
Now his flame wasn't always blue though.
Deathstorm.
No.
Deathstorm in the comics was blue. I think the only Deathstorm that in the comics had a red flame was the one from the whatchamacallit in Forever Evil.
No, there's definitely.
But the real Deathstorm, the first appearance of Deathstorm from Blackest Night, it wasn't blue. Wasn't it like a black flame? Look up the Deathstorm from Blackest Night.
I believe that was like a gray flame. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, they could have changed the flames. Is all I'm saying to make it like look different.
It was a black flame. It was a black flame, and he had like white flames coming out of his hand.
La Flama Blanca.
That was bad as fuck. I need to go back and read that again. Blackest Night.
I mean, it was just a few little like things that they could have changed, but nothing that bad. I like the episodes and overall.
I mean, I thought they were really good. So let's take a second and kind of dive into this. And we've already kind of talked about Killer Frost, Deathstorm, and Reverb. I really liked the Earth 2 version of Cisco.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was kind of a glimpse, the way that they played those two characters off of each other. I think that was really kind of a foreshadowing of how much more important Cisco is going to become in this series. I think he's going to become much more powerful, and I think he's going to really play a part a lot more in the actual battles, not just in the engineering of the equipment and like the home base team, if you will. I think he's going to end up being a little more frontline oriented.
Well, now that he's got Reverb's glasses, he's going to reverse engineer him to get onto the Earth 1 frequency or
Earth 2 frequency, but they're already back to Earth 1.
That's what I'm saying, but it's still a different frequency. Just like his goggles didn't work on Earth 2 or Earth,
right?
Yeah, Earth 2.
So do you think that he will be able to use the Earth 2 goggles to see what's happening on Earth 2? I think that was kind of the direction I was taking. It was like he's got his goggles, he can see what's going on in Earth 1 with his goggles, but now he has a set of Earth 2 goggles. And I'm wondering if, like, from Earth 1, he can't put on Reverb's goggles. And
no, because they work at a different frequency.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But that frequency only works on Earth 2. But he can reverse engineer it and figure out the frequencies, like, to both of them. Barry.
I think we might see some funky shit there.
It's a possibility.
I think we might. I think that's how they're going to keep tabs on what's happening in Earth 2. That's why. That's the only reason, because they played it up so much about like it's Iris, but she's still Iris to me, and it was Joe, but he was still family to me, even though, you know what I'm saying. Like they played up those emotional connections. I feel like on some degree, probably not a lot, but on some degree, they're going to want to keep tabs on those characters and kind of say, like, here's what's going on. And
I don't think it's so much. I don't think it's so much them. I think it's so much like Jay Garrick. What's going on with Jay Garrick now that Zoom has him?
That leads me into my next question, and I'm gonna ask Brian first about this. So in the most recent episode, the second episode of the two, we saw the masked man in the cage in Zoom's lair, if you will. Doing the 6x6 code, POW code, and he spells out J.
5x5.
5, yeah, you're right. 5x5 code.
10x10.
Right. So what is your thoughts about that masked man?
I don't know. A part of me thinks maybe the Jay Garrick on Earth 1 wasn't really Jay Garrick, and that's Jay Garrick. I think Zoom's Barry's dad, so I don't think that's Barry, Earth 2 Barry's dad under that mask. Part of me thinks it could be somebody completely different that we don't see coming, but wouldn't guess who. Maybe that's White Wally West. No, Wally West. But it can't be because never mind. But I don't know.
I think
I mean,
I think that I honestly don't know what to think, and I think that's why I'm so impressed with this. Like, when you look back across the last 116 episodes of our podcast, anytime something like this has happened where they've teased something, every single one of us has had, or at least most of us, has had like a theory that is pretty close to what's going to be happening. We've not been able to predict exactly, but we've hit pretty close to the mark a lot of the time. So the fact that at least you aren't really sure, Pirate will get to you next, but I'm also not really sure what to think. Like, I don't think it's Jay Garrick under the mask. I kind of thought he was saying that Jay Garrick was Zoom, because you never really saw Jay Garrick and Zoom together on Earth 1 until the final scene where Zoom pulls Jay Garrick through the fucking portal. So that kind of shit on my theory originally. So I really have no idea. So, like, it's kind of exciting the fact that, you know, they were able to develop this twist and turn of the plot and kind of little kernel of surprise, and to the degree that none of us really have a great idea, at least unless Pirate.
I got one.
All right, well, let's have it. I'm all ears, man. Let's hear
The
it.
guy in the Iron Mask is actually Barry's dad from his Earth.
From Earth 1.
Earth 1. Zoom is Barry's dad from Earth 2, or another Earth.
So why does he say Jay?
Because Jay's the one who went to Earth 1 to kidnap him so Zoom could come in. And that Zoom, it was like he was held hostage to do it. That's my theory. He was promised his powers back.
But we saw Jay Garrick get sucked through the portal.
When did we see Jay Garrick get sucked through the portal? At the end of this film?
Early season 2.
Okay, we saw his helmet. That's all we saw.
No,
we
we
didn't
saw
see
him come through.
early season 2, he's saying, not end of season 1.
Yeah. Last episode,
regardless,
season 1, we saw his helmet come through. Early season 2, it showed the fight scene between Zoom and Jay Garrick on Earth 2. And it showed on the rooftop, and it showed Jay Garrick get sucked. So that's not a valid theory.
No, it could have been something before that. It could have been like, look, it could have been at a point where he betrayed him altogether and was like, you know,
all right, you're sticking with your guns.
Yeah, it's because here's why I think it's his dad. One, there's always been that strong, like, theory that Zoom is Henry Allen. Henry Allen shows up at the beginning, and all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I got to go away. I'm going to be out on my own, blah, 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 blah. Like, really, dude? I think that was actually Zoom saying that. Like, he was just setting up Barry, you know what I mean? So that way he could kidnap his dad and have a reason for his dad not to be there. So I think that, and plus, if you look at the stance now, Jay Garrett's 6'4". He even says it in one episode. And when Barry stands eye to eye with him, or side to side with him, Jay Garrick towers over him. And every time Barry stood next to Zoom or the guy in the Iron Mask, they're the same height. There's never been, you know, a scene where it shows Zoom towering over Barry or Jay Garrick and Barry at the same height. So Zoom is not, Jay Garrick is definitely not the guy in the Iron Mask, and definitely not Henry Allen. Plus, that's why Henry Allen said Jay, because Jay's the one who took him. And when he says he says something about Jay, and he gets frustrated when he finds out Jay's working with him or something like that.
I think it might be his dad too. I don't know, man. It's hard to.
Plus, it's an older man. It's an older man because you can see wrinkling on his neck in one scene. Like when it shows him from the side, it's got like an older man's neck. It's not like
You can.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I would say it's either. Judging on that, and I'm kind of looking at some pictures and stuff on different, like I'm on denofgeek.com right now, just checking out some stills from the episode. One of them, the exact still that you're talking about, where it's kind of the side profile and you can just see the a little bit of his hair, where it's kind of a light blonde, like a dark blondish, light brownish color. You can see some wrinkling. I would say it's got to be either. It definitely can't be the guy that's playing Jay Garrick, but I'd say it's either Barry's dad or Eobard Thawne. I'm just throwing I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing that out there as a fucking teaser.
It could be Eobard, and I thought about that too, but the only thing about Eobard that I don't think it is Eobard or Eobard.
Bitch.
Eobard, Cinnabon, whatever.
Cinnabon.
I'll go with Cinnabon.
The thing that made me think that it could be another speedster or another metahuman in general is because Barry was put in the glass cage. Wells's daughter was put in a regular cage, and this guy's in a glass cage too.
Like he's some kind of speedster.
He could be a speedster or some other reason to have a metahuman to put him in there to where he has to vibe through the wall.
Good point. So that leans towards the Eobard Thawne theory.
Yeah, but I don't think because how long she said that guy's been there since before him.
Eobard Thawne's a time traveler, son. Get some.
Yeah.
Now, is it Earth 2
Earth,
Eobard?
it would
or
have
Earth
to be.
1?
It would have to be. It would have to be. I don't know. Fuck.
Because we saw Earth 1 Eobard push through that portal.
And Eobard he knows how to use the speed of time. If he could run the speed of Time Force, he can also vibe phase through shit a lot easier than Barry could have. And if Barry could figure it out, Eobard could have figured it out.
I don't know, man. Either way, I think this is it's really cool because it's one of those few times where there's not really like one distinct theory. Like even the Star Wars thing with Rey. So we have like really two very distinct theories as far as who she is. Right now, we've just got some cloudy, and that's the fun of it. I think that's what's really cool. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Great movie, by the way. God damn, you just totally derailed my train of thought. But no, I think that's part of what's so good about this and so fun about this is that they've managed to kind of tell the story and develop it in such a way that we really have no solid theories on who this guy could be. There's a lot of like, well, maybe it could be this guy, but if this other thing happened, it could be this person, and if it could be this third person too. So I that really makes me want to watch the next episode, and that's what I love in a TV show is that ability to tell a story where you feel like you got something out of watching an episode, but you still can't wait to get to the next episode. That being said, let's move on and talk about Legends of Tomorrow. Brian, are you caught up on this?
Nope.
God damn
I'm
you.
bored of it.
I hate you. I hate you. That's all right. Legends of Tomorrow, still my favorite comic book TV show right now. Amazing episode. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. This most recent episode absolutely kicks ass. We start the episode with let's see who Heatwave
And Adam.
And Dr. Stein all captured in a Russian gulag by Vandal Savage, and they're trying to develop a Russian firestorm. And throughout the process of this episode, they actually successfully do at least temporarily, create a Russian firestorm. And then at the end of the episode, we actually get to see the beginning of this of what's going to happen in the next episode, which is Star City 2046, and the introduction of a second Green Arrow into the universe, Connor Hawke, son of why can't I
Oliver
Queen and I can't remember her name right now. I had it pulled up earlier.
Is
but I
it
can't
Samantha
remember.
Clayton?
I think so. I can't remember.
Because Samantha Clayton. What's funny is Samantha Clayton. They was just in this week's episode of Arrow. They was talking about her, and
I haven't seen that one yet. Is it a good episode?
Yeah, it was really good. Her son's William, I think.
Yeah. Do they say Connor Hawke's in the episode? Cause Connor Hawke is the son. I know he's black in the episode. A review I watched said that they're making him more like someone who just took up the mantle.
Yeah,
Kinda
they
like
haven't. I mean, they haven't said yet because literally he was in it for like 3 seconds at the end. Yeah, at the end, it was a tease for the next episode, essentially.
Because I know in the comics, Connor Hawke is
the son.
Oliver Queen's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sandra
So I'm wondering
Hawke
if
is
they
it
just-
Sandra Moonday Hawke. It's in the comics at least. It's Connor Hawke is the son of Oliver Queen and Sandra Moonday Hawke. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna make him actually Oliver Queen's son in this. I guess that's possible, and it would add some drama elements considering Sarah is one of the Legends of Tomorrow. And she used to have a relationship in the TV show with Oliver.
They all used to have relationships with
Pretty
fucking
much.
Oliver in the TV show.
But I think this is going to be really neat. I cannot wait until the next episode of Legends of Tomorrow. We get to see the old version of Green Arrow. It's going to be badass. I mean, I don't. Pirate, I know you have to be excited about this after watching this episode. You're a huge Green Arrow fan. Like you love that Green Arrow.
Yeah, no, I haven't finished. I started watching the episode last night on Hulu, and it was getting late, and I was getting tired, so I wanted to not miss anything by dozing off. But I got to the part where basically Rip tells Sarah that if you can't bring Stein back, then he need to kill him.
Oh fuck! You're like right to the point where all the good shit starts happening.
Yeah, I knew that's where I was gonna have to start paying attention. Man, so I was like, I'll hold tight.
Watch that, son. Like this is, it's from that point on. It's like pretty much like nonstop.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Cool shit all the way to the end. Cool shit all the way in. I'm absolutely loving. I think it's because you get so many superheroes all together, all at once, and the interactions with them, and they all kind of have their own attitudes, their own like side plans. God, I'm fucking shitting the bed on names. The dude from Prison Break,
Captain Cold.
Captain Cold, thank you. Captain Cold. Every time they go into anywhere, he's always Leonard Snart is always wanting to. He's always wanting to rob or steal something. He always has these different plans. And I thought, you may not have seen this part yet, but I thought this was really hilarious that they were trying in the planning stages of breaking into the Gulag and figuring out how to rescue Stein and Heatwave and Ray Palmer. They're planning it, and Gideon is talking about, nobody's ever done it, nobody's ever broken out, blah, blah, blah. And he says, this isn't my first prison break.
Yeah, I see. I
thought that was fucking spectacular. Like, just that little, fucking throw it off the shoulder kind of comment about his, the show that really made that actor popular. I thought that was clever as hell by the writers.
Yeah, I agree. I caught that too. I thought it was pretty funny.
So, Brian, you did not get a chance to see this one yet, or?
No, I don't think I've watched anything past episode 2.
Oh man, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sorry that you're not enjoying it, but son, I think you're missing out, buddy. It's good stuff. It's legitimately good stuff. Next bit of news: rumors that Wolverine 3 might go for an
It was
R
confirmed
rating.
already.
Confirmed.
I think I saw this morning that it was confirmed to be R-rated
Dang.
and
So
based on Old Man Logan.
You know what I find funny though about all that is Wolverine when they first announced it talked about everybody was up in arms about, oh, why is it not rated R? You know, it's the comics are a mature comic, like why are they not doing a rated R rating? And then Hugh Jackman came in and played Wolverine so good, nobody bitched about it not being an R
nobody
rating.
gave a shit.
And then everybody's all like, "Oh, Deadpool! You know, look how good it's doing. It's a comic book R-rated movie."
Well, yeah.
And then
It's
I
big
think
business,
back,
man.
I
Big
think
business.
back, like, was it Blade rated R?
Yep. And so was 300.
Yeah. So
but,
it's like,
I don't. Blade's like a tough movie to compare because Blade was meh.
I mean, Blade 1 was good. After that, it got
yeah,
meh, for sure. Ryan Reynolds was in that fucking series as well.
He was
I
in the
watched an
third one.
interview with Google with him and Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds was like, "Somebody brought Deadpool to my attention on the set of Blade 3." So if Ryan Reynolds never did that movie, somebody might have never compared him to that.
Yeah, I don't know. This feels like a kind of a cheap, like, I don't know. I think that Wolverine should be a rated R movie for sure, but like, you've already done 2 Wolverine movies, and how many other appearances of that exact Wolverine character in non-rated R movies? On the last movie, why do you up it? Why now? I don't think it
if
fits.
Deadpool's going to be part of it, then
But is Deadpool going to be part of it?
there's been rumors.
There's been rumors, but
I mean,
But Deadpool basically just opened the door for things to be rated R. Studios were too scared to do rated R because of, like, they never thought it would make money because you cut the demographic in half.
all right. Well,
Kids
you know what?
see it.
Let's not beat around the bush. Let's shit or get off the pot. Let's talk about it.
Oh,
Let's talk about Deadpool.
hold on. Before we get on to jump on to DP there, let's
Whoa!
did you guys-
I did not agree to double penetration, son.
Yeah, you like that.
Well, where's
But-
your... You have a sick mind, Doug. He could have been talking about Dr. Pepper or Diet Pepsi.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying.
Double penetration.
I
yeah.
was just saying.
Or Domino's Pizza. You could be hungry.
I know. I know. The pirate.
So
and he's
yeah, there
a
you go.
double penetration kind of guy. So.
But
Before we get off
so-
the Wolverine subject, sorry to cut you off,
You're
John,
fine.
because I know. But I found the article. It says, while Fox has yet to officially confirm the rated R, the reports state Fox has been targeting a rated R for Wolverine even prior to Deadpool. Said that director James Mangold has been planning for years to make a more violent send-off for Jackman and his version of Wolverine.
Oh, fuck that. That's bullshit. I don't
So-
buy that for a minute.
yeah, did you guys? Let me see here. I had a message. Okay, someone sent me a text message the other day saying, "Did you see that Marvel has a new no swearing policy in comics?
No. What do you mean by no swearing?
Like no curse words, no
Well,
cussing."
they never really put curse words. They had the little, like, asterisk.
Well, apparently they have a new policy added to that
In comic,
didn't-
this is in the comic books or in the movies?
in comics.
Well, I mean, they never really could curse in comics.
I think
I
that's
don't
gonna,
know.
In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and it's unfortunate that Topher's not here to argue against me on this because I'm pretty sure he would. In my personal opinion, the way I view Marvel comic books is targeted at a younger demographic than DC comic books. Not by a lot.
What you're reading.
Not by a lot, but I definitely think that Marvel as a group, you take the main Marvel titles versus the main DC titles. The main DC titles are targeted at more of a young adult to adult demographic, and the Marvel titles are targeted at more of a older child, young adult demographic. Especially you look at like what they've done with Hulk lately, with the Totally Awesome Hulk. That's clearly aimed at a younger demographic. You look at like what Green Lantern's doing. A lot of kids probably wouldn't understand all of the shit that goes on in the Green Lantern book. It's a little there's a little too much going on. The way that the story arcs are built.
It also depends what you're reading, because you read books like, what do I read now? That's.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I think you're right. I think they toned it down.
I'm just saying, like Batman. You look at Batman. You look at Green Lantern. You look at. What are the other real big DC books that are out there right now? You look at anything DC. Look at the big
Harley Quinn.
Look at the big story arcs. That's really where you can look to see the whole thing. Forever Evil was really one of the last big story arcs of DC. Although there was what was the other one? Convergence. So you had Convergence, and you had.
I don't think anybody understood Convergence.
Yeah, Convergence was a piece of shit. You look at like Forever Evil, Blackest Night, those kind of things, clearly geared to a slightly not adult only, but slightly more maturing audience. And then look at this the most recent. What was the most recent Marvel?
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars clearly pushed more towards the younger side a little bit.
Well, here is the actual swearing policy.
People were getting their heads cut off and stuff like that.
I didn't say children. I said younger.
So here is the actual swearing policy that Marvel has.
Okay.
The breakdown of it. This is from 3 days ago. What brought it up on a Gizmodo article. It has to do with Power Man and Iron Fist have a hilarious way to get around Marvel's no swearing policy. It says, characters frequently swear in Marvel comics, but you'll never see a foul-mouthed curse make it to print. They're always censored by a string of nonsensical skulls and symbols. That is, except for Luke Cage in his new Team Up book with Danny Rand, and it makes perfect, adorable sense for the character. So then it goes into spoilers about how they get around it. So basically, Marvel has a no swearing policy where they're not even going to put in the symbols to insinuate that there's a cuss word in there now. That's what their new policy is.
Wow.
Before they could put in the little, hashtag money symbols, asterisk, whatever.
Yeah.
Now they can't. They won't even do that. So they won't even write in profanity.
Yeah. So it's clear.
Thought of
just from that, it's clear to me that they're gearing this more towards younger readers. They want to catch people.
Yeah, they did start it. I mean, you don't have back in the day. You had the gritty books like Wolverine was a more adult book, and
it's not
Punisher. Punisher is probably the most foul-mouthed
was
book
a good
I've ever.
Yeah.
Punisher's a good example.
Now, you have the introduction of
Miss
the
Marvel,
Young Nova, Miss Marvel,
the Totally Awesome
Miles Morales.
Totally Awesome
I remember the first panel or the first few panels in Punisher Max, which Max is like the adult. You know what I mean? But
those were such a fail. Those were such a fail.
Oh, they were so good, dude. They were the Punisher Max
books were. Yeah, the Max books were really good.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I'm thinking 29. I'm sorry. I'm thinking 2099. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2099.
I don't know why. I got confused. 2099.
But there's a scene where Punisher, he's being surveilled by this other group.
Excuse me.
And that does CIA contract shit. And this one chick's part of the surveillance team, and they're talking about his day. This dude's so fucked up, and then her thing is I bet he's got a enormous dick or something like that. It just insinuates how much she wants to fuck him the whole time, but doesn't even insinuate it. Flat out says it. God, I want to fuck him. He's just what the hell's wrong with you?
Damn.
But yeah,
it's changed for sure since then. Those days.
I wonder if that's also because of the movies.
Oh, for sure, because they want to drag people because they're probably making more money on the movies than they are on the comic books right now, and they want because their movies are killing it, so they want to drag the people because their movies are geared towards a wide range of people, from young, super young, to much older. So they want to try and drag the younger audience, and they want to try and drag the family aspect of it. The dads and the moms that are wanting to take their children and expose them to comic books through the movies can then take them to the comic book store and purchase these comic book titles that are geared towards that same audience. And that's what they're shooting for sure. DC, I think DC needs to keep doing what they're doing, and we can kind of have, I think the rift between the two will help both, honestly. I think that Marvel should do what they're doing and go slightly younger, not totally kid-oriented, but slightly younger. DC should hang slightly on the more mature side of things. And that gives you a nice barrier down the middle if you want something that's a little slightly more intellectual, slightly more violent, slightly more adult-themed, you go to DC. If you go to Marvel, you're going to have something that's going to be illustrated in a way that appeals to younger people. You're going to have something that's told in a manner that's more appealing to the younger crowd. No vulgarity, that kind of story. Both totally good in their own right, just two different flavors. It's just like, do you like strawberry ice cream? Do you like vanilla ice creams? Totally
I like
acceptable.
Neapolitan.
I'm just saying.
Like
And there's
all three of
places,
them.
there's places you can go to get that too, son. I'm just saying. You might have to dip your toes into the independent world.
Then again, let's see what DC is about to do with their rebirth.
Yeah, we can't really say
we're
much
gonna
till
get
the
into
movie comes out.
we're gonna get into that in probably next week when we get a little more info on.
Well, we just got more info this week, also.
Well, we'll get into that after. We got to stop sandbagging it. Let's talk about Deadpool. Okay, guys, welcome back. Sorry about that interruption. We've got the whole crew back here now. Topher was able to join us in the break. We're ready to talk Deadpool. Straight out of Compton. I don't think that's where he came from, but either way,
straight out of Canada.
We're talking about Deadpool. Let's start with Brian. That's what we were trying to do before the break, but let's
well, I mean, what's not to say? The fucking movie was incredible. I saw it 3 times in the theater.
Yeah.
The other 2 times, I'm not gonna say. I plead the 5th. But I think, like Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Reynolds was born to play Wade Wilson. The fourth wall breaking was fucking incredible. The action was awesome. The pop culture references were great. It was just, everything was perfect. I think it was one of the most true to form comic book movies ever. And I can't concentrate with you doing that.
That's what she said.
The costume was probably one of the best looking comic book movie costumes. I mean, I was laughing, I was crying, I was eating popcorn. The movie was just it's my number one of comic book movies so far. To date, I should say. I mean, Deadpool 2 could fucking make me shit my pants and die laughing, but it was just a phenomenal movie.
Let's jump over to Topher. Topher, you haven't had a chance to say anything yet because you weren't here, so the stage is yours, sir.
I want to know if those two are related, shitting your pants and dying of laughter. Like, are those two separate things?
Two
or
completely separate.
like,
No,
it
because
could
it's
be
like
one. I
Or
could
is-
laugh so hard I
is
shit
one
my
a direct result of the other? Or
people
Your
do
butt-
shit
your-
and piss
your-
themselves when they get electrocuted.
Your
Right,
asshole,
action,
your
there's a
asshole drowns
reaction.
itself in shit.
Yeah. It goes all the way up to my lungs.
Maybe you should put a plug in your butt before you go.
He does that
to
anyway.
cause a
Then I
point of
could kill somebody
He does
else
that
because
shit
the
anyway.
pressure of all that shit just shoots the butt plug out and fucking head taps a guy,
Boom,
and
headshot.
then I'm in jail and getting another kind of
Assault
butt
with
plug.
a butt plug.
you could probably find a Deadpool branded butt plug. It really wouldn't surprise me. There's probably an officially licensed one.
Can we get a fact check on that, Pirate?
I'm not putting that on my
Oh, come on now, you're our fact checker.
I'm a fact checker, not a butt plug searcher.
Incognito mode. Go.
Yep. Sometimes work gets dirty, son.
I kind of gave a little bit of a review last week, randomly, unprompted, in the middle of everything, talking to Sean Forney. But I mean, it was fucking great. It was hilarious. It lived up to the hype. They had so much viral marketing leading up to it. You know, like Daredevil was Daredevil. God damn it, we were talking about Daredevil a minute ago, and now I keep saying Daredevil instead of Deadpool. I used to do that all the time. I finally got out of the habit of accidentally saying Daredevil when I meant Deadpool, and now I just fucking did it again. Anyway,
I did it again.
so there was all this viral marketing and stuff. Like, you've got Deadpool doing commercials during, like, you know, the NBA finals and shit. You know, like, and it was just it was so good leading up to it, and I was like, oh, is this movie gonna be as funny as they keep touting it to be? Did we already see the funny parts? Is the trailer like the best sequence of the whole movie? And turns out the answer is, you know, like, the trailer is just the beginning of the movie, and it stays that funny the entire fucking time. Like, they knocked it out of the park. It was funny. They did great with the low budget. The acting was on point from everybody. Like, from before the opening scene of the opening credits even started, like, I was already laughing because of the music, and I've never laughed that hard during opening credits before, like, in a movie. They did such an amazing job with this movie. Like, I'm so happy, and the fact that you know, they pretty much said that there's going to be a sequel. Like, I can't fucking wait.
Pirate, what about you? Where are you at with it?
I believe many episodes ago I said it's going to be the best comic book movie 2016, and I'm sticking by that after seeing it. It is going to be it's the best comic movie of 2016, and I know we're only 2 months in.
That's a big statement.
Come November, you know, I will still stand behind that. I think
that's a big statement, considering you've got Star Wars yet to come this year.
I know it's coming
out. A comic book movie.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I don't count that as a comic book movie.
I don't count that
would
one either.
Absolutely be a comic book movie.
No, I don't count that as a comic book movie because it didn't start. No. I don't consider Star Wars.
Okay,
Star Wars is a religion, not a comic book.
Even say you take that out. You still have Batman v Superman, and you still have Captain America.
Which rumors are that the heads of WB are scared and they might change the slate.
We'll get to that.
I'll be honest. I was a little worried after that movie about our bet, Fox. You know, like the initial box office numbers from Deadpool were
massive.
They're massive. The highest R-rated movie opening of all time, and you know, even adjusted for inflation, and like, you know, stack it up against other comic book movies, and it's not number one, but I mean, it's up there. It's pretty high up there. You know,
they use that R rating to the extent?
Oh yeah, I mean, they made full use of it. They were like, "Shit, we're going whole hog on this." You know, look, after hearing that you know, DC, Warner Brothers, whoever is a little worried about how the initial test airings of Batman v Superman are going. I mean, I said all along I thought that I would enjoy Deadpool more, but I'm a little worried about that opening weekend box office number because, yeah, I mean, Deadpool fucking killed it. They outperformed what I expected. I still think Batman is a big enough name that, you know, people are going to turn out in droves for it opening weekend, whether it sucks or not. But I got to admit, I thought it was a slam dunk before, and now you got me a little worried.
I agree. That's why I took that bet. Pirate, what were you saying? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so like I said, I feel strongly that it is and will maintain to be the best movie comic book movie of 2016. I had tears rolling down my face, like laughing so hard watching it. His expressions, like, even though you can't really see his facial expressions, his body expressions with the mask on was amazing. Like, they were the funniest shit ever, dude. Like, his his little puns on his older films that he's done, hilarious. His even like connecting with other characters that he's worked with or whatever, like Hugh Jackman, you know, that was hilarious. Where he's like, it sounds like Wolverine. He's like, he's got a nice tight pair down under or something like that. Dude,
I love the fact that he
lost it.
referenced Hugh Jackman, not just Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman. Like not once, not twice, like 3 different times.
Yeah.
Fucking mask at the end. Like I so did not see that coming.
Yeah, that was fun.
The Ferris
I'm not gonna
Bueller
say it under this
post credit scenes
For this match.
was perfect. You know, like I fucking lost it on that. Or when he said Keira Knightley could be playing fucking Cable or something like that. We don't know who it's going to be. He named off like 3 people or 2 or 3 people that could be it. Then he's like, you know, Keira Knightley. Like
She's
that was
got range.
yeah.
I showed you guys the picture that Rob Liefeld tweeted out that he wanted John Hamm to play him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh no.
Yeah.
like a lot of people
I've seen
are
that.
like going after that role. The guy from Avatar,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
guy from
bulking up.
Avatar.
even
Yeah,
fucking
he-
Kevin Nash from WWE is
I think
like,
the guy
oh
from
look,
Avatar
look
would
at
be good Cable.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The guy, the older guy from Avatar.
Yeah, they had the
Yeah, the
scars.
general.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So
Also,
Might almost be too old.
there was fuck, who was it? The scene where Rob Liefeld being in the movie when like he goes into Sister Mary Mercy's and like he's like
Fuck
fuck you Liefeld or something like that.
yeah, I you know, my thoughts on like let me start out by saying I agree completely with whichever one of you it was that said that Ryan Reynolds was born to
I
play this character. 100%. Like his mannerisms, the way that he moved when he was saying the jokes and shit, the little bit of Deadpool that I have read, it looked like I was watching a comic book on the screen, which was fucking incredible. Hilarious. The jokes, the one-liners. His best friend was a Weasley.
Weasel.
Weasel.
easily.
Weasley. I don't know.
This is
fucking
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weasel. That guy was fucking hysterical. I thought he played that role perfectly to kind of play the comedy aspect up across the two.
You look like
Between
you're
the two.
going to a midnight showing of Blade 2.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's the comedy aspect of the movie was spectacular. The fact they had Colossus and what's her name?
Negasonic
Negasonic Warhead.
What the ass?
Yeah.
Negasonic.
That was pretty
What?
cool. That was an awesome tie-in. The references to the X-Men, that was all funny, awesome stuff. There was a lot of really, really high
The
points.
studio couldn't afford another
But-
X-Man.
My butt.
But I feel a
Yes,
butt coming
God.
on.
Yes,
There's a butt.
yes,
There's a butt.
But it's not. It has nothing. That's the thing is, it has nothing to do with that movie. That movie was every bit as enjoyable as all
Okay.
of us thought it was going to be. It was highly entertaining. I'm definitely going to purchase that on Blu-ray. That's going to be in the regular rotation for sure. That
Yeah.
shit was
Cut you off,
hilarious.
but
I
as
can't wait to
every
see the
day,
gag reels.
I hope it
Yes.
comes out on VHS. Honestly,
But the
Wait, 1 second. Before you change subjects.
I'm not changing the subject.
What you said about...
Yeah, fuck.
No, I mean about it coming
Still
out on
giving his review?
DVD. I watched a interview with him on Google, and he said there was at least 15 other jokes for each joke scene that's going to be on the DVD. So think
Nice.
about as
Yeah.
many jokes made. Think about 15 more that didn't make to that cut of the scene for every scene.
All right, now that all
I
wind's
believe
been
it.
taken out of your sails for
Yeah.
your big build up to your butt,
No shit. My only
it's gonna be really
concern
anticlimactic
is,
now.
My only concern is for the next movie. I really feel like the way that this movie was marketed, the way that it was presented, and what it brought to the table played on the fact that it was really one of the first comic book movies that really went R for the sake of being R. You know what I mean?
no,
Yeah,
no, it didn't go R for the sake of being R. It went R because it needed to be R.
Right,
You can't make a
I
PG-13
agree with that. I
Deadpool.
agree with that. But I'm saying
That's
like,
like getting half a
if you
boner.
look at other comic book movies that have been what do we have? Blade and 300 and what else?
300.
That's it.
And that's pretty much it. Okay, so those.
Oh, Punisher movies.
There were others,
Every
but-
Punisher
The-
movie.
You named all the
Okay.
ones that did well.
I'm just saying, right? None exactly.
okay.
Nothing
Thomas
else
Jane
that did
wasn't one.
well. Topher, nothing else that did well. So, I think that the way they marketed this movie right now, at the time that they marketed it, okay, comic book movies are now popular. None of those movies took place when comic book movies were a popular thing. Now, comic book movies are the thing to do. Better than half of the movies that are scheduled over the next however many years are comic book movies because of the success of that genre of film.
Hold on. Comic book movies have always been a popular
No,
movie source. Yes,
No.
they have.
no,
Yes, they have.
disagree.
The Batmans, the Supermans,
Yeah, and they did
the
wonderful.
Spider-Mans.
Box
No,
office.
it doesn't matter, but they continued making them because people continued watching them.
But
I
did
have always
they?
been a fan of comic book movies
Did,
since
did
the
people
fucking
did
80s.
people show up in droves to watch Batman and Robin, or
I don't
Batman
remember. I was
Forever,
too young.
I remember
or
watching
the
it in
Captain
theaters.
America movie in the '70s?
That's
That even
before
make it
my
to-
time,
yeah,
but
that's
still.
before.
So I rest my case. So
I mean, they were
No,
good.
they
but
have-
people
No,
made
they
them.
were
They
still
always
an entity.
been-
They were a movie genre.
Okay,
Yeah,
they've always been.
they-
But you're not. You're taking away from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's always been a genre. Yeah, for sure, definitely, it's always been a genre. But it hasn't been the premier number one genre of the time.
Well, they
Right
haven't
now
made
it
it in
is.
like these. No, but they just added a piece to the recipe, making it to where like all these movies tie together.
No. Before
Yes.
Deadpool,
Wow.
all of, if you take the last 3 years,
Okay.
comic book movies as a genre has gone from like fourth most popular genre to first most popular genre, for sure,
Okay.
100%.
I think longer than
That's-
4.
Okay, maybe 5 years. We'll say 5 years. Whatever. 5.
When did Iron Man 1
recent
come out?
history.
2008.
Yeah, so about 8 years.
Okay,
I'd
give
say
it.
as
give
soon
it
as
eight-
Iron Man 1 came out, it started blowing up.
Give it 8 years even. I'm just saying, within the last decade, this has become, and with increasing intensity, the most popular movie genre by far.
Okay. I'll give you that.
In the last decade, then I agree.
For
Yeah.
sure, it's become the most popular comic book movie. It's the most popular movie genre for sure. Okay. Before that, it was not necessarily so. 99% of those movies were not rated R. They're all family-oriented films. Look at them.
Right.
If you take the most popular movies out of that genre over the last 10 years, they're all Marvel movies. They're all family-oriented. They're specifically marketed towards families being able to take their young children. to
All
see
those
these
kids
movies.
grew up. Now they can get into R-rated movies now. So that's why they're just tailoring the timeline.
No, that's
I
not.
don't
That's
know.
not it at all.
I don't know. It's
I'm
a
just saying,
logical that makes sense.
it feels like they moved to Deadpool because it needed to be R, obviously, but because they had Ryan Reynolds, I'm just a little concerned about the second film. I'm a little concerned about this next Deadpool.
What is your concern? Whether it's going to not gonna be
I
as
don't-
good?
I don't know if they're going to have enough to stand on, really, to financially make it do well. It did great in the first one. I don't know. I think the hype was 90% of what this first film was. Think about the
And yet
hype
it lived
behind
up to
this.
the hype.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And yet it lived up to the hype. So
I mean,
it
it doesn't matter what I say. You're going to argue against me, but I'm just
Because
saying
I-
they had
I
how
would
many
argue
years ago?
this because-
When did that first scene? When did that when did that interstate scene come out? A year and a half
year
ago.
and a half ago.
it's like a year and a half. Yeah.
Okay, so since then we've had just this non-stop fire hype train going for this thing, just crazy hype train all the way through that didn't give any plot points, but just built this thing up, built it up. Now, they hit the jackpot with it, but they had the hype train going the whole way. It's kind of like the Batman v Superman thing. They've had the hype train going from the beginning, but now we're getting close.
Now they just got to come through, though. That's the thing.
I'm just saying.
Deadpool came through.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little concerned that what are they going to do? And they're talking about, like, we don't want a big budget for the next Deadpool movie. Like, I read an article about that, too.
Well, like, you don't need. You don't need flying suits or lasers or.
Why can't they have a hype train?
You're gonna do a movie with a time traveling X-Men character and not have a decent budget for it.
If Flash can do it, why can't Deadpool?
To a different
you think Flash has a low budget?
No, Flash doesn't have a movie budget, and they do time traveling. The reason why they can't have Gorilla Grodd half the time or Killer Shark, they only show them one time because they don't have the budget.
They're getting ready to have like 2 episodes in a row with Killer Shark.
Yeah, but Gorilla Grodd's a prime example. He's like, we can't just do them because we don't have the budget.
I don't get why you think they can't have a hype train for the next movie. Like,
there definitely is
one hype train per franchise.
Now people are fiending for the second one.
Are they though? I don't know.
Dude, here's the thing: like, you can have look at the Avengers. The plot of the second Avengers movie, like, what really was different about the second Avengers movie compared to the first one?
It was not nearly as good as the first.
Right, but my point is, you've got a team of the same people just punching dudes.
But you don't, because you have Vision involved too. So, like, one of the main characters of the movie is not involved in the first one.
Yeah, but to me, it didn't seem like
the last act.
I mean,
though.
they added some things, a couple new characters, a couple different characters, different villain, different plot, but it's still a team of superheroes, beating people up and trying to give screen time to every big actor in that movie. Like, and it didn't do very well. Like the Spider-Man movies, the first one started out kind of okay, then it was like the second one, it's like, okay, you're not doing anything different here. But like the superhero genre is,
and that's exactly what I would compare it to, is the Spider-Man movies.
What I'm saying though is
awesome. It did great. The second one came out, it was slightly worse. Third one came out, it was fucking garbage.
And what I'm saying is, I think that's because the superhero genre is getting saturated, and all the movies are the frickin' same. And so you've got movies that are doing well recently, like Guardians of the Galaxy knocking it out of the park because it did something different. You've got Ant-Man did really well because it wasn't your typical superhero movie. You've got Deadpool now, like, doing something different. It's much more like Deadpool was almost more of a comedy than a superhero movie or an action movie.
I would almost compare Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and Deadpool all in the same category. Deadpool's obviously rated R, so it's a little more on the extreme side of it, but I would put all 3 of those movies you just listed in the comedy aspect of the comic book movies. So now, between now and when Deadpool 2 comes out, how many more comedy movies are going to come out, and how much is that going to saturate that market?
And if there's a rash of R-rated, foul-mouthed, gory, bloody, beat-em-up, like, hilarious movies between now and the next Deadpool movie, you're right. It probably won't do as well because
people Pirate was thinking, because he was holding his face in his hand. Like,
people will start getting tired of that too. But as long as most of the comic book movies keep coming out as PG something rated, like just punch 'ems, then Deadpool is still going to be something fresh, even a second one, because people aren't going to be comparing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, they will compare it to the first one, but it's still going to be compared to all the other superhero movies that have come out right before it, and it's still going to come off as fresh compared to those. And I think you can do a lot with comedy, and you've got the whole, buddy cop aspect of Cable and Deadpool for the next one to play off of. I think it'll be sufficiently different, and you can write enough different jokes that it's going to come off way more fresh than doing an Avengers 2 or a Spider-Man 2.
He likes to reference pop culture. There's a ton of pop culture to make jokes
I want to jump over. I really want to find out what was going through Pirate's mind. As soon as Topher started coming back and talking, Pirate just buried his face in his hand.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't what Topher was saying. No, it was. I started thinking when we started breaking up the whole comedy aspect of movies, and I started pitching myself over to DC ideas, and I started thinking like, well, okay, so if we're gonna have this genre now of superhero films, what's gonna happen when the Green Lantern comes out? And with Hal Jordan, because Hal Jordan's a cocky, funny guy, especially in the Justice League. Barry Allen's a cocky, funny guy. That's why him and Hal Jordan work so good together. So if we have Flash and Green Lantern together, is someone going to subsect a movie and say, oh, well, when Hal Jordan and Barry Allen are together, the movie switched from a superhero movie to a comedy. So at that point, it's not a real superhero movie; it's a comedy superhero movie.
No,
I was drifting off thinking when I heard in my face
I didn't mean to say. I will agree with Topher in the fact that Deadpool's still definitely a superhero movie, even though he's not necessarily a superhero. It's definitely a comic book superhero, whatever genre you want to call that movie, for sure. I just think it's more closely aligned with Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man than it is with like Spider-Man, Avengers, or Hulk, which are more of a serious, like a literal take on the comic books, action drama type of movie.
I mean, that's a comedy. When Uncle Ben died, I fucking laughed.
Oh shit! Fuck you!
What a dick!
Let's go over to Brian. Brian, what were you gonna say?
I don't remember.
Oh,
but it smells like old lady panties.
Is Topher frozen?
It smells like old lady panties in here. Yep, Topher is frozen, and I bet this little hand will make it look really big.
Yeah, it's like rubbing a chicken.
Oh, that and the fucking.
I told you not the borscht.
The fucking line at the end when it's panning out. This last shot has to pull out, but it's the only thing pulling out tonight.
Yeah, dude, fuck. The funny part was
like a
with
ball
the
sack with teeth.
Yeah, well, no, the IKEA references. They had to get permission from IKEA.
Oh, I believe it.
And IKEA said you can use any other thing you want, but if you reference our furniture, you have to reference each piece by name.
That's why
it worked so well that way too.
Exactly. It was even better.
For sure it worked.
I
don't want the borscht. I want the
bookshelf.
Like fuck, man, that shit's hilarious. No, it was a fantastic movie. I'm
gonna fucking spell it out for you.
I love playing devil's advocate. I like having a conversation, point counterpoint. I think that's what brings out the best in us as a podcast and us as fans, our audience. When we have these discussions, we get a lot of good comments on the YouTube, on our SoundCloud account, on the different venues that we have the podcast available. We get a lot of different conversation going because we present different angles. Sometimes
it's all about the angle of the dangle, baby.
I'm just saying, it's all about that angle of that dangle.
Stupid, but
I don't necessarily always argue an angle that I personally agree with, but one that I can see as a valid point. And this is one of them, is I can see a potential, if they don't really, really be careful, Deadpool 2 might not be as good as Deadpool 1 because the shock factor was part of what was great in Deadpool 1. You have to agree with that. The shock factor was definitely a value in Deadpool 1, and that shock factor won't be there in Deadpool 2 because you'll be expecting it. The only way to have the same amount of shock factor in Deadpool 2, make it an NC-17 film. And just go fucking balls deep.
Shocked. It depends who is shocked. People who don't know shit about Deadpool might have been shocked, but I was...
Which is hilariously probably
80%.
Yeah, but
of the people who
that's what I'm saying. Is like this past week we had my fiance and I had dinner with a couple of our friends, Pirate, Dominic and Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
They came over and they were talking about like, oh, she really wants to see Deadpool, and Dominic's like, what is this? Am I gonna like this? I don't even know. Like, so a large part of the people were going for the shock factor, not because they're Deadpool fans. And that's what I said from the start, is people are going to go for the shock factor of this movie, from the shock comedy factor. That's what's going to make this movie valuable. In order to have that same tier of shock factor, all those people that saw the first one are going to have to be shocked even more for the second one. Otherwise, it's just status quo.
See, but we weren't talking about whether it's going to do well. We were talking about whether it was going to be a good movie or not. And
valid point.
Like, people
No, I said
coming
whether it
out
was
to
going
go
to do
see
well.
it.
You were talking about whether or not it was going to be a good movie. I was talking about whether it was going to do well. So,
Okay,
before
well,
you present
we
your
were saying it was
argument,
going to be a
at
good
least
movie.
hear me out. So there's that. But
I mean, but that's not what we started talking about.
that's what
like,
you started
I don't
talking
know.
about. But when I started the conversation,
Okay, fine.
I said something different.
All right, let's just keep bantering instead of moving on. to the
Right
next
up
thing.
Main Street.
So what I was saying was, yeah, no, I mean, like, I still disagree with you on that, though, because people won't go for the shock value next time. They'll go because the first one was so fucking good. It's going to earn them some goodwill, and they'll want to see how good the second one is. People won't be shocked now. We weren't shocked when we saw the first one because we knew what was coming, and we still went, and we still wanted to see it. Now all those people will know what to expect from the second one, and they'll want to go see it. It won't be like, it's not like, oh, if I had known what this was going to be, I was shocked by it and liked it, but if I had known what it was going to be, I wouldn't go see it.
I don't know. I would have to I would have to say, on the opposite side of that coin, that some of the people that went to this movie and were part of those ticket sales were shocked and did not like it, because I saw a lot of posts asking people like,
That's
how
not fair.
how appropriate is this for my 7-year-old kid? Like,
Right.
It's
Oh,
not
those are
fucking
fucking
appropriate for
idiots.
it's not appropriate for your fucking 7-year-old kid. But regardless, that was a big portion of the fucking ticket sales. Let's be honest here.
Stewart
was
or
a big-
McAvoy?
That was a big portion of the ticket sales for this.
That was good.
Those motherfuckers aren't going to be going the next time, regardless if it's toned down or not. They're going to be like, no, I took you to Deadpool 1, and it was entirely inappropriate. You're not going to Deadpool 2.
In my second viewing of Deadpool, he had to be at least 12 years old sitting next to me with his dad.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's-
somebody
I
asked me
was-
if they could take their 10-year-old, and I was like, yeah, you
somebody
could. Would
posted
you be
on
a
our
horrible
buddy
parent?
Denny's,
Yeah.
somebody posted on our buddy, I want to say it was, actually, I think it was Topher. I think it was yours. Somebody asked if it was appropriate for their 5-year-old son.
Yeah, on my Facebook page, my cousin asked me, like Kay's her son. She's like, he loves Deadpool. Is it age appropriate for a 5-year-old?
Like,
I'm like,
fuck no.
No.
Right. So just based on that, you have to believe that there's a wide range of people that didn't know.
I mean, I don't think people were turning out in droves that were in
I
a.
bet
you know-
it was 20%. I bet it's 20% for sure.
I don't think so.
And
There's that many
you take
stupid Americans.
100%. There were. I absolutely believe that there was 20% of the audience that was parents taking their younger children, 15 or younger, to see this movie.
It's rated
because the
R.
kid
They were
liked it.
telling people at theaters, like, it was
Doesn't
all
matter.
over the place.
Man, that
Like,
doesn't
sure,
matter.
okay, I saw people going in that probably had no business being there, sure. But 1 in 5, 20%, like, you're pulling that number out of your ass.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
the only
even you
kid I
take
saw in
10%.
any of my viewings.
Even if you take 10%, you say 1 out of every 10 people across the world.
I can make up numbers too. I think 177% of the people that went to see this movie will go see the next one.
I mean, now you're
Prove
just
me
being
wrong.
fucking stupid, but that's cool.
Well, I don't know where you're getting your numbers from. What
I'm
do you have statistics on that?
No, I don't. But this is my
Because
opinion.
in my theater,
This
I
is
counted
my
maybe
opinion.
3 people under the age of like 17.
Did
So
you get
I
up
don't
and
know where
count 'em
you're
all?
getting 20, even
So where
10%.
did you get up
from.
and count them all?
What if they had the Benjamin Button disease?
Did you ID everyone in the
Did you count
Oh,
it? that?
Benjamin Button.
Did
No
I
one
get up
takes
and
the
count
Benjamin
them? No.
Button
Did you
and
get up and
gets
count them all? Where is your 20% coming from?
I'm-
Were
I-
they friends?
in
sitting
my,
on top
I'm
of each
saying
other's
I was in a
shoulders with
theater.
big
I
clothes on
saw the
so
people
they
in the
could see it?
theater. There were lights on when we walked in, and like I can
Did
tell
you
you,
see
there was
anyone with a
nowhere
small
near
face and a large
10% were
overcoat?
small children.
Did you
Yeah.
cut their balls?
Yeah.
Did you make sure their
Apparently
sack is dropped?
Apparently he did.
Well, I'm talking
So-
to both of you.
Yeah,
So, I don't know.
I wasn't picking anyone out.
I think that there are going to be a fair number. How about that? Since Topher is so ass hurt over actual me putting numbers into this, I think there will be a fair number of people that took their children to see this movie, whether they were 5 years old or 15 years old.
What do you rate
That-
fair as?
That's what
I'm
I'm
not
wondering
gonna
what
rate it.
fair falls into.
I'm saying there is a considerable number of people that took their children to see this movie because the child was familiar with who Deadpool was and the parent was not, and they got in there and they were not happy about.
See, my
what
question
they
is,
saw
how is that child know who Deadpool is?
because of a comic book. Many
but
parents.
the comic books
Yeah,
are.
okay,
Comic
so
books
how
are
many-
that bad
how many
too.
parents? Okay, so how many parents
Dirty.
are more protective over which comic books a kid reads?
Okay, there's
versus
obviously
which
a bunch
movie
of bad
they saw.
parents.
I'm
I
just
have a
saying
feeling
this.
it's from the video game more than anything.
I
It's
just-
what
But
these
that's
kids
pretty
look
and
at.
there's
dirty,
that
too.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. But look at no
So
parent
that
doesn't. They don't
further-
care about video games.
And that furthers my point.
I agree.
I'm just
with
saying, I
Chris.
think that
I
you're
just like
feeling
when
that
Chris
there
goes
are-
off a tangent, so I let him speak for me too.
I just think that there's a significant portion, whatever that portion is, whether it's 3% or whether it's 20%, they're gonna lose some part of the audience that they captured in this film that's not gonna come back and see the next film.
See,
I
I
don't
don't think it's going to be that high.
that's
I don't
not-
think
I
it's
think
going to.
that portion is like
I think
I'm
that
not
portion-
saying that. I'm not
so
saying that
tiny.
means that this is
That
not a
portion
good
will
movie,
be
or
old
that the
enough
next
to get
movie
into
is
the
not
theater
gonna
the
be a good
next
movie.
time. I think.
I'm saying
that
that
portion's so
Fractional
small
percent.
that it's gonna look huge.
I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. I mean,
I think that portion will be 17 years old next time they come in there.
I don't think.
Also,
Yeah,
that.
that's true too. In 2 years, that small portion will
Either
be old
way,
enough
we'll have
to,
to.
like,
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But until then, I'm Fox 2.
think
We got
Dead-
Pirate.
See you guys later, and remember, your small portions go a long way.
Holef and Brian.
that was pretty funny. Yeah, put our small portions out.
And Topher.
not the size of the portion, it's
It's the number you give it.
the space you're filling up with it.